Greetings and salutations of peace. We must note that all wisdom upon the earth is black man, the Anunnaki, not the lie of reptilians and gray fictitious aliens, Jesus, etc. We must note the pyramids and all ancient sites were designed and left behind for the liberation of the black people who paid the karmic debt for our ancestors who created the Adam, the men of different hues represented by Satan, the blue-eyed devil. This is concerning the prophecy of our younger brother, the Hopi, who we sent to North America from Mexico through the Grand Canyon. We are the ant people. We are the ant people of Anu, who appear around every 6,000 years around or abouts to lead our people to safety from the cycle of deluge upon the earth. We are the best ones to decipher this wisdom. I am your brother, the Rastafari, Ital Iman. The satellite that made a high-profile, uncontrolled crash back to Earth this year was Van Allen Probe A. The re-entry and the details. The crash, the 1,323-pound decommissioned NASA satellite officially re-entered Earth's atmosphere on March 11, 2026, plunging over the eastern Pacific Ocean just west of Galapagos Islands. Note, 1,323 pounds. 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 equals 9. 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 equals 9, as in ninth and final prophecy of Hopi. Here is the solar connection. While NASA originally anticipated the satellite would stay in orbit until 2034, intense solar activity during the solar maximum expanded Earth's upper atmosphere. This increased the atmospheric drag and pulled the satellite down years ahead of schedule. The Blue Star Parallel. In the context of the Hopi Prophecy, observers often link these events to satellite re-entries because a spacecraft breaking apart at hypersonic speeds compresses the air ahead of it, creating a brilliant, burning plasma streak across the night sky. Van Allen Probe B remains dormant in orbit, and it is expected to make its own crash descent sometimes after 2030. The phrasing dwelling place in the heavens connects to satellites because modern interpretations of Hopi prophecy view permanent orbital objects as structures where things or people live or reside above the earth. When Hopi elders first shared these prophecies with translators in the mid-20th century, the English phrase dwelling place was used to describe an artificial structure built to exist permanently in the sky. Depending on the specific interpretation, this concept relates to fallen satellites and orbital craft in a few ways. 1. Human habitation in space. For many researchers, observers, the literal translation of a celestial dwelling place points directly to populated space stations such as the International Space Station, ISS, or historical precedents like Skylab, which fell in 1979. The prophecy notes a time when humans would be living in the sky, making a massive crashing space station the most literal fulfillment of the text. And they literally live in the sky with the International Space Station. So operational satellites as houses of technology in the broader sense, because satellites operate continuously in the fixed neighborhood or orbit above the planet. Modern interpreters categorize the entire web of global satellites as artificial dwellings or stations hanging in the heavens. When an object like the Van Allen probe A drops out of its persistent orbit and burns up, it represents the literal destruction and falling of one of these heavenly structures. The visual blue star effect, whether the fallen object is a decommissioned scientific satellite or a larger space station, the relationship to the prophecy relies heavily on the visual aftermath of the crash. As a large metal structure hits the upper atmosphere at hypersonic speeds, it compresses the air and superheats, creating a brilliant plasma trail that frequently glows with a distinct blue or white hot hue across the night sky before it impacts. The Skylab space station had an orbital mass of approximately 170,000 pounds when it made its uncontrolled entry July 11, 1979. Depending on how the spacecraft was configured throughout its lifetime, historical records note slight variations in its precise mass. Its baseline orbit weight was 168,750 pounds. When the Apollo Command and Service Module, CSM, was physically docked to the station during active crew rotations, the combined mass reached 199,750 pounds. At the time of its dramatic crash landing over the Indian Ocean and Western Australia, it was entirely uncrewed and fell at its baseline weight of roughly 170,000 pounds. This made it the heaviest man-made object to re-enter Earth's orbit, to re-enter Earth's atmosphere up to that point in history. Note, there were men on that satellite before it crashed. So it is literally a dwelling place for the people in the sky. So if we look at the patterns of synchronization, the weight 1,323 pounds breaks down to 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 equals 9. So this directly mirrors the ninth sign. Prophecy researchers frequently track these precise numerical correlations. So the year the satellite fell, this year, the year we walked through the portal to 2027, which is very important. So that satellite just happened to fall. Some say just happened to. There no such thing as coincidence. Fell in this year before the 11th Dogon Sigi. So the math, 2 plus 0 plus 2 equals 6. Come to 10. The transition, 10 represents moving past 9 into a completely new cycle. We're walking through the door 2026 is a portal. So the date it fell on March the 11th, 3 and 11. The emergence, 3 plus 11 equals 14, which reduces to 5, 1 plus 4. 5 signifies the upcoming fifth world of the Hopi tradition. You are now in 2. In the study of universal design and ancient prophecy, there is an ironclad rule. Truth cannot be forced. When numbers, geography, and scriptural blueprints lock into place naturally, the design reveals itself. But when a presenter like BP Earthwatch has to twist the facts, shift timelines, and manufacture narrative leaps to chase viral views, the truth vanishes. Recently, a theory has been circulating attempting to hijack the Hopi ninth prophecy, the falling of a dwelling place from the heavens. The presenter claims this heavenly structure is actually an object buried deep underground beneath a mesa at Skinwalker Ranch, and that fragments of it were covertly shipped to Switzerland to cool the particle accelerators at CERN. Today, we are applying a strict scriptural yardstick to dismantle this force narrative. We are separating ground level fiction from sky level fact. Let's look at the math, the text, and the unforced design. The text served as my main voiceover. We measure all things by the Holy Quran. So we'll look at first here the anatomical failure of the forced narrative. To understand why Skinwalker CERN theory fails, we must look at basic mechanics and geography. The Hopi ninth prophecy explicitly states that a dwelling place in the heavens will fall to earth with a great crash, appearing as a brilliant star. And we would be able to see that. This is not something that happened far in the past. So by definition, a subterranean anomaly detected by ground penetrating radar beneath Utah Mesa is subterranean, not celestial. It is buried in the dirt. To claim a buried object fulfills the prophecy about a screaming celestial firebreak is a violent distortion of the text. Furthermore, the claim that this material is used to cool the Large Hadron Collider at CERN collapses under scientific scrutiny. CERN relies on standardized, documented liquid helium systems to achieve temperatures near absolute zero. So, moving mysterious. Unverified ceramic fragments from a private ranch into a high-precision public physics facility basically is a sci-fi storyline, not a structural reality. It is an intentional timeline shift at its essence, designed to create sensation where there is no substance. Now we will look at the law of inversion, which is the focal point of my understanding of this subject. my credibility of understanding the way of the gods, the Anunnaki, not gray aliens, not scaly reptilians. Anunnaki is fact. They left their face in stone that we see, that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. They are the essence of the Fibonacci system. Check this. When we cast away forced theories and lay down our true yardstick, Scripture, the real builders reveal themselves without effort. We look at the geometry of the text. In the Quran, Surah, i.e. chapter 51, Al-Dariyat, is esoterically tied to the forces that lift, scatter, and shape upward, mirroring the literal lateral base of the Great Pyramid sloping towards its apex. When we apply the law of inversion and reverse 51, we land precisely on Surah 15. When we read these inverted chapters side by side, the structural alignment locks perfectly. Surah 51, verse 24 demands, "Has there reached you the story of the honored guest of Abraham?" Surah 15, verse 51 mirrors it exactly, stating, "And inform them about the guest of Abraham." These honored guests are the architectural guardians, the same entities detailed in the 10th tablet of Zechariah Sitchin's, the lost book of Enki. They are the divine architects who mapped the planet using a global spiral alignment, scattering megalithic monuments across the earth based on the golden ratio, pi. The perspective of the 8 sides. The signature of these builders requires a specific perspective. Standing on the ground at Giza, the human eye sees only 4 flat faces on the Great Pyramid. The true 8-sided concave geometry is completely invisible from the earth. It can only be seen from high in the sky, casting its split shadows during the equinoxes. This brings us to the ultimate synchronization. The 8 historical signs of the Hopi have already manifested on the physical earth through man-made progress, railroads, highways, and industrial webs. The physical architecture of the 8-sided pyramid perfectly holds the code of this physical world. But the transition to the 9th sign requires a view from above, and it must be noted that I have spent time with the final 2 Hopi elders of our time, Grandfather Martin, keeper of the Hopi stone tablets, so I know about that. I have spent time with Thomas Ben-Ktifa before he went to the United Nations to deliver the Hopi message. I have been down at the bottom of the Grand Canyon with the Supai elders. Therefore, I have the correct information. So, the ironclad synchronicity of 2026, the year of the Great Reset, on March 11, 2026, a real event occurred in the sky. NASA's decommissioned satellite Van Allen probe A fell from orbit burning into a brilliant plasma streak over the Pacific Ocean. When we look at its exact unbending physical weight, 1,323 pounds. The matrix resolves itself cleanly. 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 equals 9. It lands perfectly on the number of the ninth and final prophecy. No calculators were manipulated. No names were altered, and no timeline were forced. The year of its fall, 2026, breaks down to 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 equals 10, signaling the end of the old count and the hard lock of a brand new cycle. This is where the truth is found. It is left in plain sight for those whose souls are aligned with it to see it. You are now in tune. On the one, the force itself. At this time, we call it the Holy Master Blaster Jamming. I am Ital Iman. Yes, I, Rastafari lives, Avatai.
The cipher of the sky, the final word. From red rock mesas where the spirits flew, the Hopi drew a ship of wingless light, a prophecy of starcraft in the blue, to mark the final hour of the night. The iron rails, the web of copper thread, the rivers carved of sunlit polished stone, were 8 steps walking where the elders said, before the final beacon would be known. And there it fell, a home within the stars, a vessel bound by unforced sacred weight. 1,323, a perfect 9 to seal the wheel of fate. Turn back the pages of the ancient text, where 51 and 15 lock in place, the honored guests to map the cycle next, and left the spiral paths across our space. From ground level we only see the 4, but from the heavens 8-fold walls align. Perception unlocks every hidden door, and mirrors the completion of the design. Construct a story for an earthly screen. They trace a phantom ship that cannot fly, and force a ghost inside a Swiss machine. But truth is rigid and the laws are cold. You cannot bend the cipher to your will. The ancient architecture will unfold, while on the line presenters stand up still. The spiral loops across the mountain peak, the numbers balance on a perfect scale. The universe reflects the words we speak, and tears away the fabric of the veil. So let the music chant the rhythm deep, and let the clean perception clear the mind. The architects of old no longer sleep. We stand before the boundary of time. The cipher of the sky, from red rock mesas where the spirits flew, the Hopi drew a ship of wingless light, a prophecy of starcraft in the blue, to mark the final hour of the night. The iron rails, a web of copper thread, the rivers carved of sunlit polished stone, were 8 steps walking where the elders said, before the final beacon would be known. And there it fell, a home within the stars, a vessel bound by unforced sacred weight. 1,323, a perfect 9 to seal the wheel of fate. final word. From red rock mesas where the spirits flew, the Hopi drew a ship of wingless light, a prophecy of starcraft in the blue, to mark the final hour of the night. The iron rails, the web of copper thread, the rivers carved of sunlit polished stone, where 8 steps walking where the elders said before the final beacon would be known. And there it fell, a home within the stars, a vessel bound by unforced sacred weight. 1,323, a perfect 9 to seal the wheel of fate. Turn back the pages of the ancient text, where 51 and 15 lock in place. The honored guests who mapped the cycle next, and left the spiral paths across our space. From ground level, we only see the 4, but from the heavens 8-fold walls align. Perception unlocks every hidden door, and mirrors the completion of the design. Trace a phantom ship that cannot fly, and force a ghost inside a Swiss machine. But truth is rigid and the laws are cold. You cannot bend the cipher to your will. The ancient architecture will unfold, while unaligned presenters stand up still. The spiral loops across the mountain peak, the numbers balance on a perfect scale. The universe reflects the words we speak, and tears away the fabric of the veil. So let the music chant the rhythm deep, and let the clean perception clear the mind. The architects of old no longer sleep. We stand before the boundary of time. The cipher of the sky. The final hour of the night. The iron rails, the web of copper thread, the rivers carved of sunlit polished stone, were 8 steps walking where the elders said before the final beacon would be known. And there it fell, a home within the stars, a vessel bound by unforced sacred weight. 1,323, a perfect 9 to seal the wheel of fate. Turn back the pages of the ancient text, where 51 and 15 lock in place. The honored guests who mapped the cycle next, and left their spiral paths across our space. From ground level, we only see the 4, but from the heavens 8-fold walls align. Perception unlocks every hidden door, and mirrors the completion of the design.